He almost stood up and left when he saw her crying across the table, mascara smudged, hands shaking around a half-empty glass of water, because in that moment he knew this blind date was about to change his life in ways he wasn't ready for, and neither was she. Stay with this story till the very end, because what she whispered next shattered him completely, and if stories that touch the heart mean something to you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you never miss moments like this. Daniel Reyes had already decided this date was a bad idea before he even walked into the cafe. A poor single dad with calloused hands and a second-hand jacket didn't belong in a place where the chairs looked more expensive than his monthly rent. His sister had begged him to try, promising it was just coffee, promising he deserved happiness too. He hadn't told her he planned to leave after 10 minutes. He hadn't told her he was only there because his 8-year-old daughter, Lily, had smiled and said, "Daddy, maybe you'll make a friend." Then he saw her. She sat alone at a corner table, shoulders stiff, eyes red, clearly trying not to break down in public. This wasn't the confident, polished woman he'd imagined from the vague description his sister gave. This was someone hurting. For a second, he thought he had the wrong table. Then she looked up, their eyes met, and something raw passed between them, recognition, maybe, or just two tired souls seeing each other clearly for the first time. "You must be Daniel," she said, her voice trembling as she tried to smile. He nodded, unsure what to do with his hands. "And you're Emma." She laughed softly, a broken sound. "Yes. I'm sorry. This isn't how I usually am." "It's okay," he said, sitting down anyway. He didn't ask why she was crying. He didn't ask anything at all. He just sat there, present, and somehow that made her cry harder. Emma Collins was the CEO of a fast-growing tech company, a woman who signed million-dollar deals before lunch and spoke confidently in boardrooms filled with men twice her age. But tonight, none of that armor mattered. Tonight, she was just a woman on a blind date she didn't want to be on, drowning in expectations she never asked for. "I shouldn't have come," she whispered, wiping her eyes. "But my assistant said I needed to get out there." Daniel smiled faintly. "My sister said the same thing." They shared a quiet laugh, and for a brief moment, the tension eased. Conversation came slowly at first. Daniel talked about Lily, about school lunches and bedtime stories and the second job he took cleaning offices at night. He didn't complain. He never did. Emma listened like every word mattered, like his simple life was something extraordinary. When she spoke, she talked about work in vague terms, avoiding titles, avoiding numbers. She didn't want him to see her as something intimidating. She just wanted to be Emma. But pain has a way of surfacing no matter how hard you try to bury it. Halfway through the date, Emma's phone buzzed. She glanced at the screen and went pale. Daniel noticed her hands shaking again. "Are you okay?" he asked gently. She hesitated, then nodded too quickly. Daniel, can I tell you something? Something honest." He leaned forward. "You can tell me anything." She took a deep breath, staring at the table. "I don't usually do this. I don't usually cry in front of strangers. But tonight is the anniversary of something I never talk about." Daniel waited. "My father died when I was 12, she said. "He worked himself to death trying to give us a better life. And tonight, earlier at work, my board told me I'm becoming just like him. That I'm sacrificing everything for success." She laughed bitterly. "They're right. I have money, power, respect. But I've never felt so alone." Daniel felt something tighten in his chest. He knew that loneliness. The kind that comes when you're surrounded by people who don't really see you. "I'm sorry," he said quietly. She looked up at him then, really looked at him. "Can I ask you something? Why are you really here?" He swallowed. "Because my daughter believes I deserve happiness. And because I'm tired of pretending I'm okay being alone." Her eyes filled again, but this time, the tears were softer. Then came the moment that shattered him. Emma leaned across the table and whispered, "I recognized your name the moment you sat down." Daniel frowned. "From where?" She took a shaky breath. "From the donation records. 5 years ago, after my father died, someone paid my mother's hospital bills anonymously. We never knew who it was. That money kept us from losing everything." Daniel felt the world tilt. "That was you," she said, tears streaming freely now. "You were listed as a part-time warehouse worker. You donated nearly a year's savings." He couldn't speak. His throat closed as memories flooded back, working double shifts, eating less so Lily could eat more, sending money to a stranger because he knew what it felt like to lose everything. I didn't think it mattered who I was, he finally said. I just knew someone needed help. Emma reached for his hand. Those words, those exact words, my mother still says them.